Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all my entire physical TBR. So basically these are all of the books that I have that I want to read, or my to be read pile that I own physically but I just haven't read yet. It's actually not that many books. It's probably a lot less than what a lot of people have, but to me it kind of feels like a lot right now. I had a goal this year to keep my physical TBR to 5 books or less, and I haven't achieved that at all. I think I started 2021 with 4 books on my physical TBR, but then my husband's best friend decided to buy all of the books on my Amazon wishlist and gift them to me, so that added like 11 books to my physical TBR, and I am very, very grateful for that. That was such a kind gesture, but yeah, that was right away at the beginning of January, and I've never gotten it back under like 5 books. But that's okay. I do want to try to get this down a little bit. If I have like too many books left unread, it kind of stresses me out a little bit, and I feel like I have to force myself to read those books instead of reading books that I'm excited about, even though I am excited about a lot of these. But yeah, I don't want it to be I don't want my physical TBR pile to be any bigger than this. So yeah, enough chit chat, let's get into it. So I don't count my currently reading books in my physical TBR pile, but I figured I've just got one here that I'm currently reading that I haven't made it very far, and I figured I'd just share that one. So this is The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I think I'm just on chapter 3, page 39, so I'm not very far in this, but since I'm currently reading it, I don't like count it in my physical TBR, but I don't know, I just figured I'd share that. That one just came in the mail yesterday and I immediately picked it up. And then I actually went to Barnes & Noble today and got 2 new books. So as I'm telling you, like, I want to try to get this down, I'm still like actively adding books to this pile, but that's okay. It's really not that bad. So today at Barnes, I picked up Horrid by Katrina Leno. This is Jody from Vanilla Moon's Patreon book club pick for next month. And I figured while I was there, it was the only copy that was like on the shelves. I figured I would just get it. So yeah, I'll definitely be picking this one up in the month of May. So spoiler alert for my May TBR. Yeah, I figured I would just pick this up knowing that I was going to be reading it very soon. And then I also picked up The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. As soon as I heard about this book, it sounded just like something I would love. It's blurbed by Sarah J. Maas. I've heard that it's perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas, which instantly makes me want to pick it up. And it's also dedicated to Sarah J. Maas, so that makes a Sarah J. Maas fan very happy. But it definitely sounds like something that I will really enjoy, and Jody from Vanilla Moon read it and loved it, and so I'm excited to pick this one up. Hopefully I'll be picking this one up very, very soon. The next book on my physical TBR is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This was my book of the month pick for this month of April, and I also have a goal of trying to read my book of the month pick every month that I get it, and I'm hoping that this isn't going to be the month that I fail that, but I'm just not really in the mood for a contemporary romance right now. I really want like fantasy and magic, and so this, although it sounds like a book that I would like if I was in the mood for it, it just sounds boring to me right now because there's no magic. But I don't know. I still definitely want to read it. It's just I don't want to read it right now. But I have it as a goal to read my book of the month every month, so hopefully I'll be getting to this before the end of the month, but I don't know. This might be the month that I fail that. And then kind of going along with that, my next book here is Shipt by Angie Hochman. This was one of my most anticipated releases of this year because I've heard that it's basically a mix of The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren and The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which are 2 of my favorite adult romances ever. And if you just like mash them up and this is the book baby from that, it sounds great. But I'm not in the mood for a contemporary romance right now. This was one of the books that I was gifted by my husband's best friend, and it's the only one from that list that I haven't read yet just because I haven't been in the mood for it yet this year. But I've had several of my friends read this and love this, and they're like, Hannah, you're gonna like it, just read it. But I'm like, there's just no magic. But I definitely do want to get to this. It's just a matter of when. It's been on my physical TBR for months now, and I still haven't gotten to it. Maybe this summer, I don't know. I want to try to finish this physical TBR like soon, but it just never seems to happen. The next book I have here, I've had on my physical TBR. I have owned this book for over a year now, and I still haven't gotten to it. And that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I bought this at the beginning of quarantine in March last year. And I was like, oh, it'll be perfect because I'm not going to be able to go anywhere. It's a super long, like, fantasy book, and I am very interested in it. I know it has dragons in it, but I think just the sheer, like, physical size of it intimidates me. It shouldn't, because I've read books that are this big or that are longer page-wise, and it's just a standalone fantasy. Like, it's just a one and done. Just finish this book. You get the entire story arc all in one. It sounds incredible. I just haven't made the time to get to it. So I definitely want to be getting to this one very, very soon. I don't want to carry it into the summer. Seeing as how I've been saying I'm in the mood for fantasy, like, come on, Hannah, just read the book already. The next book I have here is Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells. This is the third book in the Murderbot Diaries. I recently read the first book for one of my 24-hour readathons, and I thought it was amazing, and so I bought the next book, and I liked that one, and so I bought this book, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. They're very, very short. It's like 150 pages, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. It will be a very quick read. I'll be able to read this in one sitting for sure. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I will be getting to it very, very soon. The next book I have here is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I got this because I have very much been in the mood for fantasy romances. I bought the entire Bargainers series and the Bridge Kingdom and this book from one of my local indie bookstores, and I just know that it's like a forbidden fantasy romance, like a Hades Persephone retelling. I'm just curious to see if I will enjoy it since I'm in the mood for like fantasy romance. It sounds right up my alley, and it's pretty short, so again, as I've been saying with all of these, I'm hoping to get to this one very soon. And then the last book that I have on my physical TBR currently is Season of the Witch, which is a Chilling Adventures of Sabrina novelization, like prequel, by Sarah Reese Brennan. I started watching The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina this month, and I am obsessed with it. And so I was really in the mood for that kind of like content everywhere. So of course I wanted to read witchy books, and then I found out that this was a thing. Like, it's literally linked with the show. Like, this is like a prequel to the show. It's the summer before Sabrina's 16th birthday and before her dark baptism and all that, if you know anything about the show. And I'm just curious to read the story like watching the show, but in book form, you know? Who doesn't want that? So I picked this up, and I know there's like 3 or 4 other books by this author, like the same kind of thing, like tie-ins to the show, and I'm hoping that I like this so then I can read the other ones. But say it with me now, I'm hoping to get to this one very, very soon. So yeah, those are all of the books that I have right now on my physical TBR. I do have one book coming in the mail, which is book 2 of The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. That I ordered from my local indie bookstore, but it hasn't come in the mail yet. It's supposed to be like 1 or 2 weeks out because I have to print it on demand and then ship it, so that's okay. No rush on that. I've got plenty of books to keep me occupied. So yeah, there's not that many. Like, I don't know why I'm making it a big deal, I guess. There's, I think, 9 books here. 9 books here, and if you're not including my currently reading of A Crown of Gilded Bones, then there's only 8 books on my physical TBR. I guess it depends on what you want to call your TBR. Because technically I am reading it, so it's not to be read, it's just being read. So it's really not that bad. That's less than 10. Even though my goal was 5 or less, I still feel like keeping it under 10 is pretty manageable. Even though I know that there's people out there that have like 100 or 200 books on their physical TBR, that would just stress me out so much. I don't know. But good on you if you have a huge physical TBR. I mean, you got quite the selection to choose from. But I just really like the idea of being able to like go to a bookstore and buy like 3 books, and then those are the books that I pick up right away. I don't know. I like reading my books like as I get them. So let me know down below in the comments how many books you have on your physical TBR. I would be very curious to know, especially if it's a small number, because I feel like I'm one of the only ones that has like few books on their physical TBR. Or if you have like a huge number that's like outrageous, I would also love to hear that. Be very curious. But if you liked this video, you can let me know by liking and subscribing down below. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!